Hello. This week Congress will vote on a bill you've heard me talk about all year, the REINS Act. Now before I get into exactly what this bill does, I'd like to first talk about the problem it seeks to address. Each year, federal regulations cost business owners around our country about $1.7 trillion. That works out to more than $10,000 per American household per year. Now each year, 60 federal agencies and the executive branch issue thousands of additional rules and regulations. That means the cost figure is only going up. Now, whenever a single regulation has an economic impact of $100 million or more, it's called a major rule. Last year alone, there were 100 major rules issued by various executive departments in Washington. All told, that works out to a cost to our economy of over $10 billion. And of those 100 major rules, exactly 0 were approved by your elected members of Congress. 0. The REINS Act would change that. Under this bill, anytime a federal agency tries to issue a new major rule, it'd have to come to Congress for an up or down vote. And then it would go to the President for his signature before it could take effect. This would only affect those rules with the biggest impact on our economy. And it would give our constituents a chance to weigh in on those regulations just like they do with other pieces of legislation. Now, just to be clear, this doesn't mean we're going to start deregulating everything. Not even close. This doesn't mean Congress will stop new regulations from going into effect. Some regulations, we know, may be bad and harmful, but some regulations may be good and necessary. But the unelected bureaucrats who write these regulations aren't accountable to the American people. Bureaucrats tend to have a more narrow focus and don't always think about how a rule might affect job creation, for example. You know, the Seymour Tribune recently wrote on this topic, and they said that when a proposed regulation could impose compliance costs of hundreds of millions of dollars, or even billions of dollars, they should be subject to review by the elected representatives of the people and signed off on by the President. And, I agree with their assessment. I'm proud to support the REINS Act because I've seen too many Indiana companies struggle in this already sluggish economy because of these harsh regulations. There's a microbrewery, for example, in Seymour that I visited months ago. It had trouble opening their doors because of the mountains of paperwork and red tape that they have to go through. It was weeks later, a food supplier I visited in New Albany. They're poised to be the biggest in their industry, but having trouble expanding and creating new jobs because of new banking regulations. If the REINS Act were in place, then these problems wouldn't exist. Congress could have stopped or improved those regulations before they ever had a chance to see the light of day and stall our economy. If you want to learn more about the REINS Act, you can find a button on our website, toddyoung.house.gov. I would encourage you to visit there. As always, if you want to weigh in on this issue or any other issue, please don't hesitate to visit that website or to contact our office directly. Thanks so much.